system going so it measures your equity. And he came back and said, no, Michael, you don't understand it. This is measuring the system. And I said, no, but we're not measuring. This trading is personal. We want to measure ourselves. And he said, no. And then he got back to me, I don't know, a day or two later, and says, you know what? I've been thinking about that. I'm going to run it by Tyler James. And we never got really back to that. And then in the meantime, another person came into my life. He's an engineer from Tijuana, and he works his butt off in Mexico, I don't know, 60 hours a week. But he has read my stuff. He says, yeah, and I talked to him about it. He said, I want to do this. And I said, well, let's do it. And so he's been working on that, and it's not perfected yet, but it's getting close. And as attendees, you guys all are going to get the beta version as part of one of the bonuses of just being here. And the cool thing about it, everybody's TD sequential is going to be different. Mine's going to be different from yours. We are hoping that we can load up my training records from February 4th and demonstrate that to you, but apparently there's two. I'm going to introduce Victor because he can tell what's really happening. He's got a wonderful presentation. And we're still short on our perfection of this system, but we're getting close. And I'm not going to talk anymore. Victor, you got to come up and explain it. And Victor's primary language is Spanish. He's real shy about his English. And I said, well, are you going to have any problems? And he said, Eileen, I know this topic so well. I have problems with English, but I won't have any problems with English when I talk about this. And I said, you know what? I'm sure that's true. So, Victor, it's all yours.
Thank you, Eileen. Thank you for having me. Well, my name is Victor. I'm from Mexico, and I'm from Tijuana. So today I'm going to talk about the equity app. It's an idea of Oakley. I'm just developing, and also because I'm an engineer, but also I'm a trader, so I'm adding a little bit to the idea. It's all this idea, but I'm also adding a little bit to the app. So the name is the equity app. It's a BitMix equity chart and analysis software. That's so down. Okay. Okay. So the first thing I want to talk about is why to develop the equity app. So if you remember during the first presentation, Cecil's presentation, he talked about the trading strategy. I divided it in two sections. The money management is the first and most important part, and I put a few concepts here. First, and to me, the most important part of money management technique is position size, and then position allocation, and max drawdown, max missed profit, and trimming. All of these concepts are it's what the app is trying to help you to identify and get better in each of these concepts. So then comes the, as Cecil in the morning was saying, then comes the price analysis techniques, also known as technical analysis, who consists in trend identification, entry guidelines. I use this word guidelines because other people use the word rules, but I don't like that. It's not meant to be that rigid. It's just a guideline. It's not a rule. So entry guidelines, exit guidelines, and waiting. This is a very difficult part when you are trading. Just waiting on the silence until the opportunity comes. So it's very difficult when you are trading to do that. So the idea of the app is get better in this part, then you have a tool that helps you to analyze your strategy and also get better in this through some statistical analysis. So that's the main idea. So this is an example. So my thinking is, if you sorry.
What? Oh, sorry.
Slightly
if you this is like a balance. So if you could see the biggest square here is money management techniques is the biggest one. So it's has the balance to the right. So then comes technical analysis, then comes execution. So the better you get at this part, the less you got affected by this. What is this? It's fear, greed, FOMO, and news, and other people's views. This is important because when you are trading, when you are learning to trade, you are obviously you don't know, so you follow other people's decisions or views. So, but when you are getting better, you don't need to follow other people's views because you are getting better at this part. So, but technical analysis is just something that comes after, not the first part. So the most important part is money management. So what is the equity app? I define it like a tool. It's a new tool that it's based on Eileen idea, and it's a new approach to evaluate or analyze or do analysis on your trading. So I put right in this slide some features. So it's focused on your equity chart, not the market chart. This is important because normally when you are trying to learn trading, all the gurus or something like that they are telling you that a lot of indicators or stuff, but they are focused on the market. The market is public information available for everyone, and every people on the market is seeing the same thing. So the equity chart is yours. It's private. It's like a chart of your wallet, the entries and the exits of your wallet, not the public price of Bitcoin. So this is it's an important part. Is focus on your equity, not your focus on your equity chart, not the market chart. And it helps you analyze your equity and visualize your equity on an open, high, low, and close chart. So this is a type of chart. We traders are familiarized with this type of chart. It tells you that during some period of time, let's say 1 hour, the price went to a high, a low, and okay, let me rephrase. Start at one price, that's the open, then go, for example, to a high, then to a low, and close at some point. So in one single candle or bar, you have 4 points of information. So it's an open, a high, low, and close. So it charts your equity in this type of chart. So you have different time frames available. Right now, the equity app has 1 hour, 4 hours, 12 hours, 1 day, 3 days, and a week. That's the time frames available right now. So also perform statistics and it stores it in your computer locally. So in order to run the app, you need to get encrypt API keys on the BitMEX exchange. So you need to get your API key and secret, and the app encrypt that information and stores in a database locally. So the app is also password protected, so anybody who has access to your computer cannot use the app. So it's a security measure. So this is okay. How does it work? This is an example or a picture of very basically how it works. So here is BitMEX. This is the BitMEX logo. Here is BitMEX data or your equity on BitMEX, and here is the internet. So through the internet, this is the app. It's just a calculator. So a calculator passes through the internet, through the API keys, communicates with BitMEX, get the data, also needs your CSV file or your history to reconstruct or do all your history, compute it, then store it in a database on your computer, and finally show you this, something like this. This is something that, this is actually the app. So all the stuff is happening in almost real time. So this is what the app does right now. So this is how to get the equity app right now. The prerequisites are, you need, I am developing on Windows 10. It's kind of tricky to get the app work on all the kind of systems, for example, Linux, Mac, and all the different ones. So right now, I'm just focusing on Windows 10. You need obviously internet access. You need a BitMEX account. You need to generate your API keys and secret. You need to ask for BitMEX to give you your complete history CSV file. And then, well, here is cover the cost. Obviously, we are doing an entrepreneurship on this, and we are not defining the cost yet because I'm partnered with Ugly, but all of you guys, if you are interested in trading, are going to receive the app for free to help me test it, so don't worry for this right now. So then I send you the link, you download the app. It's a folder that came with readme.txt file, included also a tutorial on how to install the app. Then you need to change your CSV file to history, just like the program will find your history, because your history BitMEX send your history with your account number and all weird stuff in the title. So you change that title for history and put it inside the folder of the app. Then open the equity app .exe and allow admin permissions. Set your password, input your API key and secret, and allow that database creation. That's the process to get started with the app. If you have any questions, you could interrupt me at any moment.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So you mentioned CSV file,
Yeah.
right? What kind of data does that import?
I couldn't hear you.
CSV file.
Yeah, it's a file that contains all your history, and you just send an email to BitMEX and guys, I need all my history, all my execution history. So they send you.
Okay, but that won't take into account the equity fluctuations.
No. That's what the app does. So
it takes the equity fluctuations into account.
Yeah, exactly.
So it captures that data and stores it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it captures the data, analyze the data, process the data, and then generate the chart.
Okay. So it's just not, it's not a standard CSV output.
No.
Yeah.
The output of the app is something like this. This is the output. So the input is a CSV file and the real-time bitmix data.
Ah, I see. Thank you.
So the output is something like this. It says so.
Where have you been before I lost my folder?
Good question. I'm not very into social media or something. So just until I met Audley on the beginning of this year, I start to tweet out on other stuff. So sorry for that. Sorry about that.
But he's here, so you can make him back.
That's the idea. That's all this stuff is CESO is a motivation for me to make this, because I don't want people to lose out their hodl. This is bad. This is bad. So okay, this is a quick overview of the equity. There's the different parts of the app. So this is some menus of the app that this is important to me, because there are different modes you could use the app. You have the time mode. That's what I was talking about. It's just a regular open, high, low, close chart, and it's a type of chart all traders are familiarized. Also, I include this mode, trade mode. This is something I thought is important, because it charts around trade. What do I refer to round trade? It's a trade that starts at 0, then you buy, for example, $100, and then you sell it and go again to 0. So it's a buy and then a sell. That's what I mean with you use the trade mode. So, and also has the stats, the statistical of all your trades. So you have the contract. These menus the app generated on the contracts you trade. So this menu is different for every person. So if you only use the, for example, the XBTC 19 contract, that's all this menu is going to show you. So this is actual footage of my account, my trading. So sorry for this. I need to trade EOEs just for scientific purpose. So sorry about that. So then you have the time frame menu, as I was saying, 1 hour, 4 hours, 12 hours, and so on. The views is just the amount of candles to show on the screen. So it's like a shortcut to view the data more compressed or more prolonged. And then you have the style. This is just the color of the candle. The classic is the regular green and red candles, and the modern is a gray and black candles. That's it. So these are the menus of the app. Then you have, this is the time mode. So if you see here, you are in the time mode, and compact view is a lot of candles. The most number of candles that the screen could show. So I think it's like 100 candles or something. So this is a chart of my trading account. So this is an open, high, low, close of my equity. So here I have a drawdown, but I accepted, I didn't sell, and then I win. So in this screen you have the unrealized P&L in Bitcoin. So you could see when you enter a trade, it starts charting your equity. Then, for example, here I had no position. I was off the market. Then I started a position. I started to, the positions start to go against me, then reverse, and then I took a small profit. So this part is a realized profit. So as you can see, this is a cumulative number, and then when you exit a trade here, you realize profit. Then you are out of the market, you realize does nothing, then you start to trim here. You start to trim your position, you start to realize some profit, and then again and again. So here is your position. If you are long, you are above zero. If you are short, you are below zero. So here I was long, then go to neutral, so my position was zero. Then I enter a trade in 2 steps and exit a trade in 2 steps, but just partially. I still in the trade, and then enter again and then exit again. So I return to neutral. So this is what I talk about. This is one round trade. This is another round trade. So in the trade mode we are going to see next. What the trade mode does is compress all that information in, for example, just one candle. Instead of have I don't know, for example, 50 hours, because this is 1 hour. Instead of have 50 hours of 50 candles, you have one candle just with your entry, your low, your high, and your close. All of this data is compressed. So you could see here these numbers is the TD sequential. You can see here you have the TD setup, and all the stuff is included. So the next screen is the trade mode I was talking about.
Victor, the TD sequential, was that from BitMEX? Was that the count, the actual count that the BitMEX?
Yeah, it's of your actual account. It's of your actual trades. But the TD sequential is programmed in the app, inside the app.
So that's not pulling. If you go the slide back, I can't see any of them. But if you looked on the BitMEX thing, if the last one was a red 8, it wouldn't necessarily be a red 8 on BitMEX. It's only on yours.
No, on the there is a slide in the next slide where it shows that the BitMEX or the price TD sequential is very different of your TD sequential. That's the thing. This is the TD sequential or your wallet, of your equity, not the price equity. And it's different because if you are short and the market is going up, the TD sequential of your equity is going red and the market is going green. So it's different.
So can I just add something?
Of course.
You may want to add the stop loss on your equity, not a chart. And because you may not want to do that on the chart, but on your equity you will.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, that's the concept. The whole concept is you're getting stopped out on your equity. You don't worry about what the market's doing. It's you. If you're trading, the market's going to do what it's going to do. Okay? You only need to be worried about your equity. That's all. But can you go a little bit, because we were talking one time, and the difficulty you were having, you're drawing the data somewhere else right now. Is that correct? Or how did you explain that to me?
I can't remember.
Okay, when the night we were talking, you had a lot of problems developing this.
Okay.
This guy's worked a long time. He's worked a full-time job, and he started getting into this, and he got and went down the rabbit hole, and he's So we're not through the woods yet. We're still in that hole, but we're getting a lot closer. So tell them about some of the problems.
Yeah, I understand.
So, yeah, that's what you need.
Okay, working with BitMEX data is a bit difficult. It's because, for example, when BitMEX has a very heavy traffic, they try to be like kind of open source or transparent. So they put all the info, all the data available on the API. But when the traffic got heavy, they lock the data or erase the data. You can have access to the data. That's why you need That's why you need this. Because I was developing the app and didn't do that part, the database part. And I just communicate with BitMEX through the API and get the data. But then price start going up, traffic get heavy, and then they lock the data. So I get lost with all my progress. So start again and start saving data locally to avoid that problem. So that is one. Another one is what happened with people who are not allowed to use BitMEX, for example. They are using Deribit. It's like the problem we are getting right now. I speak in another language, and it's difficult to communicate to people in a different language. So BitMEX talk one language, Deribit talks another language. So you need the app, to know different languages. So it's like rewrite the program again. So
Are you getting your prices somewhere else then? I guess that's my question. Where's your pricing? The market price?
the market price comes from BitMEX.
It does.
Yeah, it comes from BitMEX. You need the API keys because you are getting access to your account. So that's why you need the keys. If you are just asking for price data, you don't need any keys because that info is public. But because it's your wallet, you need keys because it's private. That's why you need keys. So you also, if you are trading in BitMEX, you need the price data of BitMEX because Bitfinex or any other exchange is different. That's why you need the BitMEX data, price data. So that's why.
Are you showing the equity in dollar terms or?
No, it's in, as Sogli always said, you need to trade in Bitcoin terms, not in dollar terms. So it's, as you see here, it's unrealized P&L in Bitcoin and realized P&L in Bitcoin. So
You're trading in dollars, but your equity is measured in Bitcoin.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's the only thing that counts is your own equity in Bitcoin. That's the Bitcoin standard.
that's the right
Okay,
answer.
I have a question.
Of course.
If some people want to contact you or help you for testing this program,
Yeah.
where have to go?
Yeah, after or later today or tomorrow, I'm starting a group on Telegram. Anybody who's interested, just contact me, and we are. The idea is to keep developing this application and get feedback of real traders to maybe just. They want to add some feature or remove some feature, and I'm very open to that. So that's my idea. So I want to get closer to the users. So the idea is to have a Telegram chat for that. So that's the main channel we are trying to use for communication. So I just going to go. So this is the trade mode. For example, this is measured not in a date. If you see the x-axis, is measured in an integer number. because this is one round trade, this is another, this is another, this is my actual equity. It's very positive, but it's a small amount because I'm developing this thing and I can trade in a big time. So it's small amount, but for example, here you can see your position. You have almost 400 long, another long. This is a short of 400, then all longs. And this is the actual profit of this trade. This candle, for example, could have a time span of around, for example, 10 days, 20 days. It's a round trade. It's just one trade. You could maybe start, but inside of this candle, you could perhaps make 10 in trades. If it's a long, you maybe bought 10 times, and then you sold like in 3 steps. So
But to generate this, you have to literally stop trading and close out everything, is that right? Or to generate that candle?
no. It's on real time.
No, I mean,
Oh yeah, I get it. Yeah, you start with 0. You are neutral in the market. Then you trade during days.
but if you always have a position on, this is gonna not be relevant, but if you close out everything.
Yeah, for example, in your case, you have Ugly is more like a position trader, so he has trades like maybe for 1 month, for example, or 2 months, and he keeps adding and then trimming and then adding again, and so this mode is not very useful for him, but maybe for other people. He would like to use the time mode.
Yeah, it's another feature that you can.
It's a feature,
And
yeah.
particularly if you're stepping out, it can tell you when you're getting out of step, and it might be time to get out, and just, because there are times you just can't trade.
Yeah. So this is what Ugly needs as a position trader, the time mode. But for example, if you are a swing trader, this is more useful to you. It's depend of your style.
So I'm assuming the wick is where your top equity on that trade was, and then
Of
where it got
course.
out. So you're able to see your slippage.
This is something interesting because it's also in the next mode, which is the stats mode. You are going to look at different statistics on your trading. So this is why I need the trade mode, because to generate these statistics, you can generate of this type of chart. You need the trade mode. So when in the trade mode, you are you need to look for a contract specific like XBTU. But so you have the P&L, the total P&L of that contract, the number of round trades that I explained. In my case, 21 trades. Percentage of winners. Here is this thing is helpful to measure your
Your win rate.
Your strategy, your TA. This is meant to measure your TA, this percentage of winners, because it's form of measure your if your strategy is bad, you are going to have a bad percentage. But it's not necessarily that. It's something to look at. Yeah.
What's P&L?
Profit and loss. So you have the max percentage profit of any single trade. Or in my case, the biggest profit I had on XBTU was 4.3%. The max percentage loss, I took at 11% loss. And also this part is to analyze your strategy, your entries, your exits, and all the stuff. So this part is meant to help you to improve your TA. If your TA is working correctly, you are going to see good numbers here. This, for example, is my TA sucks because I had a bigger percentage loss than my percentage profit. That's not something that you like, but
Yeah, you have to multiply that by 76 times the percent times the 4% versus the 25 times the 11, and then it's good, right?
Yeah. So, on winners.
75% of the time you're getting 4%.
Oh, that's an important thing. These percentages are the you know, on BitMEX you trade on leverage. I don't know, but a lot of people fear leverage. Leverage is not the problem. As I said in the first slide, the problem is the position, not the leverage. You could I always trade with 100% leverage. It is the max on BitMEX, and that is not the problem because I measure my position. No, the leverage is it's irrelevant. What you need to care of is your position, not your leverage. So you adjust your position and your leverage accordingly. That's the what I mean.
And this might be something in the future, but is this basically a picture from the time you start? So right now, you can't separate it by quarter, month, or year. You won't be able to contain it yet or gauge it yet.
Right now you can do that. But if the market, you guys that are trading, ask, you know, Victor, we need to separate this for 3 months or something. That's something I'm glad to add. There's no problem. So then you analyze your winner trades. On your winner trades, what is the worst percentage drawdown? For example, here I took the worst percentage position goes like 6.2 of loss, but I didn't sell. I wait. Maybe that position turned into a winner. So this also help you to measure your system. That's the idea. So also you have the worst position miss. This is something I couldn't find a better wording, but this percentage miss profit. What I mean with that is something like this week. How big is this week, and how big is this week, and all of this. So if you are having constant big weeks here, something is wrong with your trading strategy because you don't have this. You have something like this. You don't have to miss all. You had that at some point. You had all those profit. Then you lost the half of your profit. So you don't have this. So this is some form to visualize and analyze your strategy in both ways, the technical analysis and the money management. So this is the stage. Oh, and also the longest. Also measure the time that you has the position open. For example, the longest in this contract, the longest trade I had was 179 hours. So this is the one. It was a short. As you can see, longs are green, shorts are red. This was a short. I have opened that position for 176 hours. The shortest is less than an hour. And you can see all your P&Ls. If it's loose, it's below zero. It's green because it's a long, but it's below zero. It's a loss. And then this, for example, this is it's a profit. So this is the stats mode. It's available on every contract that you trade. And then we have the usage. Any questions? No? Okay. On the usage, these are examples of what I learned of my trading strategy, of my money management using the app during the development of the app. So what lessons or what tips I have to you guys? So your equity has different TD sequential than the price. This is very important. Look at this. I took a long. Sorry, I took a short because look at my position. that was 0, then took a short, minus $200, then took another short, add to my position. But look at my equity, are going up. The Bitcoin chart is going down, but my equity is going higher. Then, sorry about the color, but here is a 9 on my equity. I start to trim, so I exit. I has 500 contracts, then go to minus 400, and then that's when I realize profit. So my realized P&L was a straight line, then I realized profit and came up. Then again, the equity start going sideways and start to realize more and more profit until I exit completely my position, going to 0. So you could see a graph of your position, your realized P&L, and your unrealized P&L. This is in a time mode. This is the time mode or this is the most important mode. You could. The thing is, your TD sequential is very different is very different than the price of Bitcoin. So if you are a perfect trader, your realized profit is going to be like a straight line to the upside. But nobody is a perfect trader. So then you have okay, this is the next one. TD sequential on the equity app for timing. What I mean by that? So look at this. I had a red 9 on my equity, start to generate the TDST line. Then from that 9 came that 12. It's not perfect, it's not a 13, but it's a 12, a red 12. And then what happened? I took you could see my position here. I was long, then exit, I was neutral, saw that 12, start to going long, and start to realize profit. And once you broke your TDST line, it's a validation you are correct on your views on the market. So you start to realize some profit and exit your position, and it's upon your strategy. But that is you could use the equity up for timing also, looking at those 9s, those 13s, and those broke of the TDST lines. This is a different type of analysis I made on my own strategy, this ground position size detection. So, for example, look at this. My number of trades was 26 on this contract. My number of percentage winner was 65. It's a very decent number. My max percentage was 13%. My max was 3%. This is all good numbers, but still look at my P&L, negative. So what's the problem here? Why I managed to lose money, winning the majority of my trades, winning bigger than that I lose, and still managed to lose money? How I did that? Because I went too big on positions too early, for example, and then took a loss to cut the loss. You need to realize that loss. So my worst drawdown was 10%, my worst net profit 3%, and you could see here the problem with this contract was those two trades, because my position was bigger than normal, and that was a problem, because you scare when you price start going against you, and you need to cut that losses, and your losses are just 2 errors, but make my P&L negative. Just 2 errors. 2 errors on 26. It's small, but still manage to lose money. Even when you win the majority of your trades, you win bigger when you win than loss. So this is interesting to me.
It's
And
not about how often you're right and how often you're wrong. It's about how little you lose when you're wrong.
Exactly. When you took a loss, but even when you took a profit, you took a bigger profit than a loss, and still lose money. So it's interesting. Of course, this is very different of every of you guys. This is my charts, my style of trading. On every of you is going to show a different pattern, a different kind of things. That's the importance of this. It's not the market, it's you guys. It's a tool to analyze you. That's the thing. So this is another form of analysis I was trying. This is a combined analysis. So I had the time mode open and also the stats mode open at the same time. That's why I put it in another window. So as you see, I start along because we are above zero. I start along, start going against me, start going in my way. But look at that. I don't know if he's here, but I start again, start going against me, and then lose almost everything that I has win, and then exit. I realize a profit, but a small one, but lose all my wins because I didn't exit at the right time. So I didn't had the discipline or had the timing to exit the trade. So still, this contract XPTM it's profitable. I had 60% of winners, bigger my profit than my loss, and my drawdown is not too big. So there's a lot of different ways you guys can analyze your trading, but the idea is I want to have your feedback. I'm very open to modify all the program if it's necessary, because the idea is to generate a tool that helps you guys. That's my main goal.
So this will definitely help people to learn how to be a small loser, because nobody wants to be a loser.
Yeah,
you better be a small one.
Yeah, if you are a loser, you want to be a small one. I agree. So this one is we saw. So sorry guys, I'm going the wrong direction here.
It's a new reality TV show, The Smallest Loser.
Yeah, that's a trading show right there.
Go direct, go out.
So, any questions? That's my presentation. Any questions?
So, I kind of understand like the TV analysis. I attend the term seminar, but just watching my understanding of it is like, look, a lot of statistics have been done on this. So, like, following these patterns, you're increasing your percentages on the charts of the market going up. I think it's really cool, all the equity and everything, but like the sequential part of it for an individual, I'm having a hard time grasping like how do you do statistics on that, because that's you. And like I'm not sure like any of the TD sequentials apply.
Oh, that's the cool stuff of TD sequential. I'm not the first guy to apply TD sequential to something strange or different. The TD sequential has been applied to a lot of stuff. So they also apply to, for example, price of I don't know, interest rates.
It's freely available on the internet, and even through college, you can actually study what
for
it's all
example,
about.
But you have to like run your own. My point is, you have to run your statistics on yourself. Like a TD sequential doesn't work on everything.
It does.
Well,
It does.
Work on everything.
It's a natural tool. It's not a technical tool. The nines that they're
It's a natural tool given a population.
It's a complicated moving
anything that's not.
Yeah.
For an individual, I'm
And-
not sure, like, I'm having a hard time seeing, like,
So see, look
why
at
do you
look what it
wait
shows.
to a 9 when you're manipulating where that 9 is as you're going? It's not an aggregate of the population.
No, it's on you. It's
So it's.
that's the whole point. It's on you.
It doesn't matter whether it's you, whether it's massive population. It measures the natural processes that happen automatically. You don't have to question them. You don't have to say like, why does it happen? It just does. Okay. A lot of people will be like, well, this doesn't make no sense to me. Well, study chaos theory.
No, I'm not saying, I believe that, I mean,
No,
I think
that's a
the
very good
statistics
question.
back
I'm
it
saying
up. Yeah.
But one thing I have to tell you, so you showed the charts of your own equity,
Yeah.
and I don't know if you noticed that, but you have H and Y fractals all over.
Yeah.
And those are natural.
Yeah. It's
You see the
you have your system. Oh, it has everyone has our own system. But fractals, Fibonacci, moving averages, a person, everything. So it's a natural process.
So the TD sequential, when you're looking at the market, you're using it as an indicator to get in and to get out, right? Those are potential exits.
Okay, that's my point. Who will use it?
Yeah.
It's a technical
It's a
indicator
tool.
looking at the market.
Correct.
This is an equity indicator of you.
Correct. That's so.
The whole thing
Yeah.
is, forget what's going out there, okay? It's you. Bitcoin could go to $1 million tomorrow night, but it doesn't affect you in the your life, your family's the same, everything's the same. The only thing that matters is your equity.
Correct. So I guess one of the questions that Aaron might be asking, because I might be, but are you using it as another piece of indication for your exits? Are you using it going, because you're sort of measuring your own emotions too, right? So if you're at a red 7 right below, you're starting to panic and you're like, okay, wait a second, I'm not going to get out too early because the 9's coming and then there's going to be a change. So you're measuring your own emotions.
As a trader, you're never going to get out of your own emotions, okay? But if you got a 9 going on your equity, you better be.
You need to pay attention. You need to
pay real attention.
Yeah,
okay.
And you better look at everything else. Bitcoin went up 50% that week, and you're at a 9. It's probably time to buy the Lambo.
Yeah,
you can
do some
probably buy the
profit, do some
Lambo,
profit.
sell it for 7 Bitcoin, and buy it a year later for 40, like the goat lady
Yep.
did.
So
The goat lady can't trade Bitcoin, but she can trade F-150. She's good at that. So.
Yeah,
it's a way of keeping your emotions in check. It's using
That's what.
time sequence.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's different, right? I think there is a difference. One of them is like it's a TD sequential, but it's a regulator of your emotions compared to a TD sequential that's like been statistically proven to be like, a majority of the time.
It's not statistics. See, that's what
No.
you start.
It is statistics,
It's not
because if
statistics.
it's not statistics,
No,
it's
it's
not
just
good
it's like a
analysis.
river. It's not a
That's the
statistic.
problem. That's what you guys keep telling everyone. You don't get it.
I don't
It's a
get it.
dance.
Because you always talk about statistics and technical and all the science. Market is not
No, it's
that
an
type
emotion
of
reader.
thing.
It's how
It's
the
chaos.
We can go on this later. Hey, I got
do that.
this is an up and coming entrepreneur. We got a long way to go on this, and you guys all get the fan. We may never get it perfected, but the whole thing is, look at where he's going. He took this thing to a whole new level. I said, this what I'm doing this. I know I'm doing it, but now it's getting quantified. This can be very useful. It can also be destructive. It just depends. It's a tool.
Yeah, it's a
It's a behavioral modification tool.
Yes.
That's what it is.
Yes, and it can be useful, but it
for
can.
example, a fork is a tool, but it's not a good tool to change your tire.
Yep.
It's a tool, but it's not that.
I'm waiting to the 9.
All right. Well, everybody, you're the most interesting speaker probably so far because everybody wants to make money trading Bitcoin. So. But no.
This is my name, my Telegram. If you want to put in contact with me, my DMs are open, so
Okay.
I'm available.
What's your phone number?
Hey,